Because when you hear the figures from external agencies, you may think that, okay, maybe they don't like us, and then they are doing all of this to discredit us and all that. But this was the figure from the government. And we also all know, as adults, that when government gives you a figure, to a large extent, it's also very possible that they are downplaying it for obvious reasons. So if we're saying 64 million, 64% of Nigerians were multidimensionally poor, perhaps the actual figures could be up to 70%. And between that time, in 2022, petrol price was about, who remembers, 300, 3 something? It was less. What is it now? 1,320 in Lagos, and Lagos is one of the cheapest. Now, each time petrol price goes up, I need you to understand the trend. It means more and more people are going to get poor. Because petrol is what controls transportation in Nigeria, because we still use vehicles more than, we don't have so much trains and things like that. So, and then you add that to the cost of food, and that goes into cost of food, it goes into cost of accommodation, cost of basic things, everything goes up. So you can imagine how many million Nigerians have become poorer in the last few years. Now, it is easy to analyze. I'm a banker by training, and we can analyze figures and trends. It's easy to complain. It's easy also to pass blame, to say, oh, the government has not done this, the government has not done that, the government should do this, and the government should do that. But as a socially responsible church, we felt that perhaps we can add value. Perhaps we can do something that can help individuals, families, organizations to be better than they are. That's something that can help people earn more, something that can put food on the table of some people. We may not be able to solve the entire problem of unemployment and poverty in Nigeria. Even the government can't solve that. But at least, maybe 200 people, maybe 300 people, maybe 1,000 people, maybe 5,000 people who would come to this conference and get information that will help them. So what did we do? We decided to put together the Roundtable Lekki, and each year we take a sector in the economy. We dimension it. The purpose of that is just to bring out the opportunities that exist, that people may be walking over. I mean, you heard the MC this morning tell us how technology affects every one of us. And while you are using these technology innovations, you do not know that some people are getting richer and richer by that. But it was because of the problem that existed that people invented those things. And so we are hoping that every year as we spotlight a sector, more and more people will find that there are opportunities that they can play in. As a matter of fact, we focus a lot more on people who actually think they don't have anything to play with. And so this year at the Roundtable Lekki, we have decided to fix our gaze on winning through innovation, the tech advantage. Now, if you look at the why tech, somebody asked me this morning, why tech? When you look at it, you will see that technology is affecting every sphere of our lives today. There is hardly anything that we are doing or we can do today without technology. And it is also one segment of the economy that has the capacity to bring in a lot of people, depending on where you are playing from. Some people look at it that, oh, it has high barrier in entry. Yes, but it depends on where you are coming from. All right? But you can see that, for instance, AI is disrupting the way we do business. AI is disrupting career. Every time you study about it, you hear one or two things. They tell you how many more jobs AI is replacing in the industry today. So these are some of the things that we want people to discuss at the Roundtable Lekki 2026. And at this session this year, we are not bringing storytellers. We're not bringing people who are just still dreaming. We have brought people who are practitioners, people who have looked at the situation and have created solutions, people who know what it takes, people who are practicing it, people who understand the sector, understand the trend and the things that have to do with it. So we are expecting that in this conference, at this conference this year, that you will not just listen, but you will take notes. You would have ideas. You would catch revelation and things that will change your immediate life, the things that you are involved in, the things that you are interested in. You will also have ideas, that you can put into some of those things that you are dreaming about, because that is the purpose of the Roundtable Lekki. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to relax in this conference this year, make friends, connect, because it's also a networking platform. Connect with people. For those of you who have pitches that you're going to display today, make sure that you connect. There are people here who are going to put money in your business. I can tell you that for free. And there are also people who today from this place will take business also away from here. I want to welcome you again to the Roundtable Lekki, and I'm trusting that this program truly will add value to your life. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you very much, our convener, Reverend Chris Ubamadu, for your speech. Now we are going straight to the meat of the matter. Please fix your eyes on the multimedia screens around and keep your ears open, because the profile of our first speaker for today is coming up next. Thank you.
Oluwa E. Aboyeji, OON, is currently the founding partner of Future Africa, Africa's largest seed stage investor, which has invested millions of dollars into over 100 startups across Africa. Prior to that, he co-founded two of Africa's 7 unicorns, Andela and Flutterwave. Oluwa has served his country as the youngest member of the Nigeria Presidential Council on Industrial Policy and Competitiveness, and has been recognized as one of the youngest recipients of the National Award as the Officer of the Order of the Niger. He has been recognized as a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader and a Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, amongst other awards and fellowships. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oluwa Aboyeji.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I need to use it. It's fine, it's fine. I don't really need it, but it's the other way. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Praise the Lord. I know this place is a church now. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank our host pastor, Pastor Chris, for having... Oh, I'm sorry, Pastor Osas. Forgive me. I come from a denominational. Forgive me, Pastor Osas and Pastor Chris, for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I was told to speak about winning through innovation. That was the topic I was given. And when my sister Pamela asked me whether I had slides, I said I don't have slides. That I speak as the Spirit leads. So let's hope the Spirit has something to say to us today. But a few things I wanted to just quickly talk about. I was joking with Melvis that she's our moderator today, that I don't think I need 30 minutes to say what I want to say. Because it's very simple things that you know, but you need to know, if you know what I mean. A lot of the time, a lot of us just need, as my father in the Lord would say, an under to our standing. Right? We just need to understand what we are really doing. And I'm praying that God will give us that understanding in Jesus' name. So, very quickly, I want to just talk about 3 things, which is number 1, what it takes to succeed in business, right? What it really takes to succeed in business. Number 2, I want to talk about how to think about innovation. How to think about innovation, right? And then number 3, how to win God's way. How to win God's way. What are the 3 things I said? Number 1, what it actually takes to succeed in business. Number 2, how to think about innovation. And number 3, how to win God's way. So the first topic, which is How to succeed in business. I think one of the mistakes a lot of people make when they decide that they want to do business is that they believe they are special. And you are, but there is a limit to your specialness. I always say something that a lot of people will quibble with me about, but it's the fact, which is that the default outcome of any business is failure. Yeah? 97% of businesses around the world fail. It's not a Nigerian thing. When I see people saying, oh, my business failed, it's because of government, I always say, well, what would the Americans say? Or what would the Canadians say? Because the rate of business failure is the same. I'm not denying that there are structural reasons why businesses fail. Don't get me wrong. But a successful business is a miracle. A successful business is a miracle. It's just that sometimes when our pastor prays for business breakthrough, we don't think of it as spectacular as healing, but it's in the same category. And it's not just about a contract, it's that you run a business for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You know, it's a miracle. And those that have run businesses for that long can tell you the miracles along the way. The close shave with salary. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not that you didn't do things right. It's just that is business. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, how do you build a successful business? The first thing, I'm speaking, I always tell people that, unfortunately for me, fortunately for me, the way that I know is the way of the Lord. I don't have any other way. If you are looking for somebody that goes to Babalawo house, I'm not the one. If you are looking for somebody that has plenty of smart wisdom to share with you, I'm not the one. What I know is the one in my Bible. So that's what I use every day. Anything that is outside that one, you have to go and talk to the people that know, because I don't know it. So how to win in business, how to build a successful business, I will give you biblical principles, because we are in church. Amen? The first one is that a business has to be received. A business has to be received. I see a lot of people, somebody went and raised so and so $1 million to do payments. Me too. I will go and do payments. It cannot work. Even if you do all the right things, it may not work. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there's such a thing as building a business that works, that makes you unhappy. Or doing a business that works, that is not in God's will. And many times, especially as Christians, we need to start receiving business ideas in the place of prayer. It's not something that you just walk into. Something has a 97% chance of failure, and you want to go into it without prayer. Are you not a better gambler? Are you not just gambling with your life? It is better for you to take paid employment. You understand what I'm saying? So that you know that you are not putting yourself and your family at risk. You have to be sent to do business, which means that the business idea or the business, whatever you are trying to do, must be received in a place of prayer. If you didn't receive it, don't start. My father was one of those that prayed with Bishop Oyedepo for 2 years before they started Winners Chapel. So when you see Winners Chapel today, you think it's just 2 years. They just sat down and all they were doing was praying, day and night, praying. If you don't, at this church, people will have mercy on you. If they like you enough, you might not be as big, but people will come to church. You understand? Imagine business where nobody has any obligation to deal with you. You now say you are going in, without praying, how will you succeed? You cannot succeed. So please, if you are building a business, go and confirm. God, is this in your will for my life? If it's not in God's will for your life, please, just quietly put the business back where it belongs and ask God, what do you want me to do? Because the business will not succeed. I've done it before, so I'm speaking from experience. I've built businesses in the flesh, and I've built businesses where God said, go. And I know the difference. I remember when I was leaving Andela, Mark Zuckerberg had written a check, $24 million, at a $100 million valuation. Ordinarily, I should have said, okay, I've suffered enough. Because prior to that, I had been building businesses since 2010. Before Andela in 2014, and Mark Zuckerberg's check did not come till 2016. So how many years is that? 6 years. 6 years. There's no overnight success. You wait for God. But the difference was revelation. When God said to me, leave this business that is successful, that looks like it has been made, and go and do something else, which was Flutterwave. I resisted at first because I was like, it doesn't make sense. I can be giving them money and continue to chop it. I said, no, that's not what I want. I want you to leave your job and go. I left Andela May of 2016. May 14, 2016. May 17, same 2016, I started at Flutterwave. 3 days break so I can pack my load. Because at that time, to tell you how precarious the situation was, I was living in Andela's housing. We're 12 in a 4-bedroom flat, 4-bedroom duplex in Yaba, in Jacob Muse. I was using company car. I didn't have anything of my own. And the small money I had, I was investing it in startups. So that was the most inconvenient time to go anywhere. But God said to go, and I went. And which company became a unicorn first? Flutterwave. So the big difference between when you decide to do it by yourself, and then God by His mercy helps you, just helps you. And then when you decide you're going to do it God's way. That's the first thing. Number 2, don't do a business where you don't love the customer and you are just doing it for money. Don't do a business for money. I know the fundamental principle of business in the world is profits. But you see, in the kingdom, the fundamental principle of business is service. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you are in a business where you don't love the customer enough to want to serve, I'm not saying you should serve the customer for free, but you don't love the customer enough to want to deliver excellent service for free, don't do that business. You will not succeed. Are you listening to me? You have to be able to love the customer, because if the customer's problem does not excite you, does not make you happy to solve it, if you receive the call and you're like, oh, if not that I just want to make money now, for just go sleep, you will not succeed. Because business is a competition of who can best serve the customer. That's what it is. It's a competition. What you call competition is somebody that has decided in their heart that they will serve the customer better than you. If you end up serving the customer better than them, you win the competition. If you don't, you lose the competition. So please, I see a lot of people who do business for money. Honestly, with a 3% failure rate, there are many better ways to make money. honestly speaking, many better ways to make money. Don't waste your time going to build a business because somebody told you to aspire to perspire. And you are the employer of you employ somebody to be doing somebody else's dream. Now you know where you get them. Collect the dream, and be doing it. It's okay. Unless you hear from God and you love the customer. Are you listening to me? Number 3, then I'll move on to the next point in our curriculum. Business is about solving problems. But please, solve new problems. Business is about solving problems, but please, solve new problems. Did you hear what I said? It frustrates me to no end when I see a business owner, I've given them feedback as a customer about something. Rather than them implement a process to make sure that that feedback and that problem is solved and solved forever. They fix it for only me. When I now refer somebody else to them and say, that was the person that helped me fix the problem, we will start all over again. You cannot scale like that. You cannot scale like that. Are you listening to me? Your business is about solving problems. Customers will show you problems. Right? Solve the problem once and for all. Wait for the next problem. And the way you do that is by training people. Documenting your processes and training people. Some of you believe that the way to build a business is to go and hire big people from other people have trained. That thing does not work. I've tried it. It's a different thing if you say you need some expertise in your business. Personally, if I'm a small business and I think like a small business, I'd rather bring the person in as a consultant and train somebody up that will stay with me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because somebody that has seen different iterations of the same problem and has been taught how to turn a solution to a process, you understand, will be in the best place to evolve that solution for you. They will start to draw patterns about how customers think. They will start to know and love the customer like you. And they will now be able to be in a better position to serve the customer or to help you serve the customer. And it's on that basis that you can expand. Are you listening to me? Churches don't innovate church growth, do they? Every church is built the same. They will appoint a pastor, even if it's chair. You will go, you will start. We don't innovate. Pastor, do we do that? We don't. We have man. It's the same thing for your business. Try your best to not be too innovative. Sometimes business owners are too innovative. This week you are doing X, next week you are doing Y, the other week you are doing. Meanwhile, customer just needs you to solve a problem once and make it a process so that anybody else that has that problem, you can now solve their problem for them. So I've finished that curriculum. I want to move quickly through the other two. What did we say for the first one? How to win in business. Number 1. You people have used it to eat my mind. Number 1. Business must be received. Number 2. Don't do a business where you don't love the customer. If the customer irritates you, resign from the business. Number 3. Business is about solving problems, but don't solve the same problem twice. Okay? Fantastic. Now let's move on to the second part. How to think about innovation. Okay. Innovation is the gap. You need to write this one down. Innovation is the gap between a customer's demand and your constraints on supply. Let me repeat it again. Innovation is the gap between the customer's demand and your own constraints on supply. Yes, sir. So, anytime you are innovating, it's not about flash and bang. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not, I have this amazing idea, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Oh, we look so cool. No. Innovation is the gap between a customer's demand and your own constraints on supply. And unfortunately, I was hoping I would do this example before you walked in. So I need your permission. When we started Flutterwave, what was the constraint on supply? At the time, we had WebPay. Okay? To access WebPay as a merchant, you needed to pay, at that time, it was about 500,000 naira. And then you needed to work with some developers. You would hire your own developers. InterSwitch also had developers on Skype that were supporting you. But the process will take some time because you are not a big customer. They serve banks. Who are you? Small business that wants to integrate to WebPay. So they did it to manage demand, constraints on their own supply. But we saw an opportunity. There are a lot of merchants, they want to receive payments online, right? Because if I'm selling on Instagram, right, I cannot afford 500,000, right? And I don't have money for rent for shop. So I'm keeping the goods in my house. And if I'm lucky and I work in a civil service environment where nobody cares, I will bring the goods with me to work. Maybe that's how we used to do business. Or it's not, maybe your church people are very touche. I'm not one of them. So that was how we used to do business. So small business merchants, online payments was a desire, but not a reality. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what did we do at Flutterwave? We crashed the price to zero. We said, oh yeah, we will build the tool that you need. If you need something custom that needs developer, don't come here. Oh. If you want to come, we will charge you, and we used to charge. But if you're a small business on Instagram, you just want a payment link so you can be receiving payments, we can serve you, right? And that's how we started. And we realized that, there are platforms that actually aggregate these people. For example, if you think about Uber, Uber is really a small business conglomerate. It's an association of taxi drivers. That's really what it is. Just with a defined business model in front. So, for the first group, we used to serve banks. Because at the end of the day, if you're a small business, what will you have? A bank account. So, SME Market Hub, Access Bank, or Pay with Capture, we service those guys. You understand what I'm saying? Uber came, we service those guys. And all we were doing was innovating between the demand of the customer to accept any payment method and all of that, and the supply constraints of engineering, talent, and capacity to be able to integrate payment systems into your platform. That is innovation. It's not about being flashy. Do you understand what I'm saying? And to innovate, you need to understand the customer's real pain points. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, when you go and talk to a small business, everybody wants to appear big. So when I come to them and I say, you know, you need to pay 500,000 naira, and say, yeah, no problem. I don't have the money. No problem. You know, I will come back to you. How many of us know that one? That I will come back to you. They don't have the money. but they want the product. So how are you going to innovate for them? Then some of us will be in church crying, God, give me customer. You just turned away 3. When I work with customer, I will never let a customer get back to me. That's the kind of salesperson I am. Customer cannot get back to me. It's not possible. I will ask you a question. Okay, what is the problem? Why can't you pay now? Obviously, they will first of all give you the nonsense answers. Oh, it's too expensive. Who determines that? It's your pockets. So I don't listen to that one. It's you that determines what is expensive to you. If you sit down with Uncle Michna and you tell him water is 10,000 naira, he won't tell you it's too expensive if it's tested now. He will tell you, his bottled water is 10,000 naira. He will grumble a little bit, but he will just transfer. That's the end of the matter. But my point is, you need to skip through what I call preliminary objections. It's too expensive. Okay, what problem are you trying to solve? By the time you get to that point with the customer, they are really telling you, you know what, I can't afford the shop. I sell on Instagram. Can you give me a way to just accept payment? Now you've hit at the real problem. And chances are a lot more people have that problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now your decision is, do you love the customer enough to innovate for that customer? Because you can also look at that customer and say, well, I'm sorry that's your problem, but quite frankly, it is not my problem. Do you understand? I'm not called to serve people with this problem because you cannot solve everybody's problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you see an opportunity, okay, there's nobody that is solving this problem for this customer. And it's not a bad problem to solve. I've looked at the risk. I've looked at the opportunity. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. Okay, let's try something new with this customer. Then we try with another customer. Before you know it, you become known for something. The other people say you are innovative. But most of the time, what we call innovative is not a function of one complex mathematical equation. What did Flutterwave do that was innovative? We did all the integration for you. We didn't own any Rails when we started. We will still use InterSwitch in the back. We did all the integration for you. We package it nicely, give you a dashboard, collect the money on your behalf, give it to you at 10 a.m. the following morning. That's the innovation. It's not anything special. And maybe as we now went along, we now started becoming more innovative. Realistically, we're just responding to customer requests. So don't let anybody bamboozle you with innovation, gobbledygook speak. Innovation is the gap between the customer's demand and your own supply constraints. Anytime you are filling that gap, you are what? Innovating. Are you listening to me? We are number 3 because my guy is here and I cannot waste his time. He's still my boss. So, what was the third topic we're going to talk about? How to win God's way. So these days, when people talk about winning in business, I'm always afraid. Because there are many ways to win in business. Many, many ways. As a venture capital, I can tell you, some people win by fundraising. They fundraise and they die. Some people win by building very profitable businesses. Right? Very, very profitable businesses. Very, very profitable. But when you look at how the profit comes, is at the cost of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get my point? Somebody must suffer. Do you understand? To deliver that profit. Some people win by just lying and stealing. You can win that way too. You will win. Abi? I know people that went and raised $80 million. The money entered their bank account.